So since our last cruise, we've talked about a number of the places we visited, and that includes Hong Kong and Singapore. And today we're going to talk about Thailand, and specifically what you want to be doing there.
Well, one thing for sure, and we took full advantage of, was the shopping in Thailand, and specifically in Bangkok.
You also want to visit the temples in Thailand, especially on a cruise like that of Southeast Asia. We saw temples in Hong Kong, we saw temples in Vietnam, but the temples in Thailand are
very
next
special.
level. Yeah, next level.
Yeah. And of course, we got to talk food.
You definitely got to try the food when you're in Thailand. The food is absolutely incredible. That isn't necessarily not the case about the other places we visited, but Thai cuisine is fantastic, right? So those are the kind of like the big three, but there's one more, and it's interesting in that this particular cruise took advantage of it because they had a couple of overnights. You got to do the nightlife in Thailand as well.
Of course.
So let's get into it, and let's begin with the obvious. Let's begin with the food.
I hope you still have photos that we can show on what we had. I don't even know what it was, to be honest with you. Like, I know it was some sort of seafood. I think it was some sort of chicken. But the spices they use and how they put everything together was absolutely incredible. And when we were in Bangkok, we hung out with some friends of ours, and they took us to a restaurant called Zanzibar, which is in like the heart of downtown Bangkok.
It's part of the nightlife.
Yeah, and we didn't even know what we were doing. We just pointed to, there were 6 of us. We just pointed to a bunch of dishes. We shared everything, and the food was unbelievable.
Yeah, 90% of what we ate in Thailand, we don't know what it was.
No,
we really don't. We just looked at the picture, thought it looked good, and gave it a go, and we didn't miss anywhere.
No.
In Thailand. Everything we ate in Thailand was absolutely fantastic. Yeah. And, there's a misconception that Thai food is very spicy. That really isn't the case. No. Generally, they'll warn you if something is a little more than average.
It's not spicy. It's spiced. Let's just get that.
Yeah, that's actually a North American thing. Yeah. There's this idea that spicy means you have to light your face on fire. That isn't necessarily the case. When you look at Southeast Asia especially, you're looking at like Indian food, Thai food, Chinese food. There's a lot of flavors involved that are created through the use of spices, but not hot spices.
No.
Right? So just because their cuisine is quote unquote spicy, it's not difficult to stomach for most people.
No.
We can handle it. There are the odd person that's going to, their stomach's not going to be able to handle the palate, but if you can handle different foods 100%, if you're in Thailand,
you need to eat the food.
You got to try as much as you can.
Please don't go to a McDonald's when you have authentic Thai food.
Don't go. And if you go, don't tell anybody.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Next up, let's talk about the nightlife because I was a part of it. The Thai nightlife is amazing.
Oh, yeah.
Okay? Absolutely amazing. And I mean, you're going to see plenty of videos on YouTube about going to Thailand to, hook up with a Thai girl because that's the attraction. They make no secret about it. It's obvious, right? There's a lot of good-looking Thai women out in the nightlife, and that's part of it. But that isn't all of it, right? I think a lot of people think that's what it's about, but it's not. There's a lot of fun to be had at night in Thailand.
Yeah.
Right? Great music, great atmosphere. Everyone's out for a good time because it's a hot climate. Nighttime's the time to be out and about.
Oh yeah, and that's one thing we're really jealous of with countries like that because in Toronto, once 9 p.m. hits, the city's dead. There's not really much happening. So it's always so much fun for us to experience a nightlife in a hot climate when everyone's active, everyone's out and about, everyone's eating whatever you can find for street food. It's a fantastic experience.
Yeah, Toronto doesn't have the kind of nightlife that you have in those sort of countries. It really doesn't. And on top of that, we have a limited window, right? Winter comes around and
you're inside.
Being out late at night isn't that enjoyable for the most part, especially when you're going somewhere you expect to get hot. It doesn't work.
Yeah.
Whereas in a place like Thailand, you're already dressed casually. It doesn't take much to turn an outfit into a nighttime outfit, right? And the temperature is perfect at night. So,
and we're not even gonna say go to any specific thing in Thailand during the nightlife because you can go anywhere.
Yeah.
Just venture out. I as a woman, even though I did have Cope with me, I felt so safe in Thailand. It's just, I felt like I could just have been there by myself, just walking around the streets and felt totally fine.
And depending where you are in Thailand, the nightlife's a little bit different, right? Like if you're in Koh Samui, the nightlife's kind of like Miami Beach kind of thing, right? If you're in Pattaya, it's more of a Vegas, kind of like, dirty Vegas feel. If you're in Bangkok, it's more of a big city, like New York style feel. Like depending where you are, the nightlife changes, but the one thing that rings true is that it's fun no matter which place you're at.
Yeah, you'll have a blast no matter where you go. So the next thing we want to get into is the shopping. Now, we went crazy on the shopping, me. The first mall I want to talk about is the Icon Siam Mall, where we actually got Cobe's Wise Watch, which you can see in a previous video.
Yeah, I'll put a link to the video up here.
And this mall you have to experience. The first thing that threw us off was they had a little train, which I hope we have the video still of it, a little train that went through the mall, and I was like, what does that go? And it was just picking up people and then
dropping them off
at another store. And I was like, this is crazy. The food court was huge. It was like one giant floor, but it wasn't like your typical food court. It was like little tiny restaurants.
The interior of the mall was like a 5-star hotel.
It was like immaculate.
Gorgeous.
It was to the point that, I used the washroom and I came out and I was like, Kobe, that washroom is crazy. Like, you need to go use it. And and one of the girls that we had dinner with that evening, she was like, I know what you mean. She's like, I
don't shop there.
She's like, I don't shop there, but I do go there to use the washroom. It was huge. Anyways, I don't recommend, unless you really want to do any high-end shopping or you want to go to Wise.
Yeah, but hold on. I do recommend going there for shopping if you're into high-end shopping. If you're looking for high-end brands. The one thing you have to understand when it comes to shopping in Thailand is that regardless of what you're after, whether it be the highest end brands or a fantastic deal of no brand, right? A brand list product. It has everything, and they're all well priced.
Yes.
There was one guy, an Australian guy that we met on ship who loves Gucci, right? Gucci is his thing, and he's been to Thailand like 25 times, and every time he goes there, he goes directly to the Gucci store, and I'm not talking knockoff. This is like an outlet mall version of Gucci that you can go to, and they have clearance items because it's so huge, and he buys everything there because the prices do not compare to your standard price you're going to get in Australia, in Sydney, or here in Toronto, or in London. You get a fantastic deal there. So if you want high-end goods, it is a place to buy.
Yes.
And the Icon Siam has all the high-end stores. But that's not us.
No.
If you're like us and you're looking for the absolute best deal on top quality clothing and goods, but not label, there's another place to go that you have to go to.
And it's called the Platinum Fashion Mall. And I think it was, seven or 8 floors?
It's like 7 floors with 400 stores per floor.
It was packed full of like every clothing store you could imagine. And I went crazy.
Yeah. Amy and my mom as well. They went nuts in there. And we were in there for about 2.5 hours, and we only did like 2 floors.
Yeah.
Of the 7 floors, we did 2. You could spend days shopping in there. There's that many stores. Hold on, one special thing though is that I was researching places to go and shop when we were in Bangkok, so we were going to have a lot of time there. And I had come across this place, but there wasn't that much written about it. But it looked like a good deal because they said it was full of fashions, which I know my mom and Amy were interested in, and that it was one of the better priced locations. So we thought, okay, we'll check this place out. When we told our driver we wanted to go to Platinum Fashion Mall, she was like, how'd you know about that place? Oh, it's amazing.
Yeah.
You're going to love it. That's where the dealers go, which I did not realize until we got there, because everything that's on sale has 2 prices.
Yes.
One price if you buy one, like a regular person shopping there, and another price if you buy more than one because you're buying for like your own retail outlet or something like that.
Yeah.
So you can get some fantastic deals there if you're buying multiples of the same thing.
Which I should have.
Well, in some cases you did, because both you and Mom both bought multiple things together.
Yeah, right? But unbelievable. When we came back to Toronto, I went to a mall and I got so mad because I was like, I'm getting ripped off here. and our quality is not even as good.
No.
The quality you get in Bangkok was crazy. I was like, maybe the sizing was a little off. It might be a little bit bigger or a little bit smaller than what you are. You can do the best you can.
Keep in mind though, check the labels on a lot of your clothes.
Yeah.
You're gonna find made in Vietnam,
Made in Thailand.
made in Thailand,
Made in
Bangladesh,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
It's all within that area.
Yeah.
So because it's being made there, they don't have the same numbers of markups to go through to get to the end consumer, right? It's going directly from the manufacturer into this Platinum Fashion Mall, and then from there,
Yeah.
it's being distributed like all over the world because buyers are going in and buying, 100 lot pieces of
That's
certain
right.
things. So that's one of the reasons why you're getting such a good deal. The other reason is when you've got a mall that has like 3,000 stores in it, there's a fair amount of competition.
Yeah.
Right? A lot of them are selling similar items.
Yeah.
If it's a sundress,
Yeah.
a lot of sundresses look the same. The pattern might be slightly different, but they look the same. So if you go into one booth and you haggle a little bit and the next 12 booths have similar things, they're going to do their best to try and sell you right there on the spot.
That's right.
So you can get fantastic deals in Thailand. We're thinking about going back strictly for shopping.
Just for shopping.
That's how good it is.
Yeah. Like we were kind of upset that we only brought like one big suitcase with us, and we're like, okay, next time we go, we're going to bring an empty suitcase with us so we can bring back like all the clothes I want.
Yeah.
Because
we'll show you pictures of a number
deal-
of the things that Amy got.
Yeah,
right?
I'll try them on because it's ridiculous on how good of a deal you get. Please go to the Platinum Fashion Mall. You will not regret it. You're gonna spend the day.
I think it's a must stop.
Just
for
spend
me,
the day.
it's a must stop. It's right up there with like visiting the Royal Palace. Like you got to go to the Platinum Fashion Mall. That's
Yeah.
how important it is. So shopping is a thing. On top of that, we were in Pattaya by total fluke because of a short, like a 1 hour long rainstorm. We popped into
Torrential downpour.
Yeah, torrential downpour for an hour.
Yeah.
We popped into
I think it was like a silk store.
Silk store that
Yeah.
primarily makes items to order,
Yeah.
right? They specialize in, producing uniforms and such. You come in, you pick your style, you do the uniforms. Or people, if they're gonna, go to a special event like a wedding, you come in, you pick your fabric, you pick your style. They do all the bridesmaids dresses, kind of thing.
Yeah.
But they only have a few items up front. They had maybe 100 items.
Yeah,
Up front, total. I'm not
yeah.
talking 100 different, like 100 items total.
Yeah.
Up front that were for sale because maybe it was extras from something they had made
Or maybe
before.
someone changed their mind or
So
whatever.
it's there. So because of this rainstorm, and we happened to be right there, we popped in. And we found, again, we'll show you pictures, we found a thick, heavy, silk skirt
Yeah.
for Amy that came out to like, what was it, like $40?
Like American, maybe? Was it $40 American?
I can't remember.
I don't know. You haggled her for a while.
We got such a good deal on it. To be honest, I've seen skirts just like this one, similar materials, right? With the double layer, the slip, the whole thing. I mean, you see them at stores here in Toronto for like $500-$600.
Yeah.
And it was like, it's guaranteed less than $50.
Oh,
I'll
yeah.
have to look up again what we actually paid for it,
Yeah.
and I'll put it in the description. But insane,
Yeah.
the deals you can find in Thailand if you're willing to look for them. And that one was by fluke.
That was totally by fluke.
Right?
Yeah.
So while you're there, take some time to shop. Don't miss out.
And get a Thai massage, guys. I missed out on it, but get a Thai massage. They're like
$5.
Yeah. Right?
Right.
And they're everywhere. So if you can find a legit Thai massage.
Whatever your
place.
thing is.
Yeah. And take advantage of that while you're there too.
Yeah. And then the last, but by far not the least, the thing that probably impressed us the most of all are the temples in Thailand.
They're huge and they're beautiful and spiritual, and you have like,
You're blown away.
You have all the feels when you go to a temple because it's just out of this. I don't even have words. It's out of this world. It's
Probably 3/4 of the pictures we took in Thailand are of temples.
Yeah.
And things in around temples.
Yeah.
And the temple grounds. Like it absolutely blows you away. The temples are unbelievable. And unlike some other places in the world, Thailand has a mixture of religious cultures.
Yeah.
So you have Buddhist temples, you have Hindu temples, you have combinations of the two in the same temple because of the way the different dynasties have moved through, right? You have Chinese influence, like it's got everything.
Yeah.
And I mean, I've seen a lot of temples around the world and some pretty impressive ones, but none of them compare to the temples I've seen in Thailand.
No.
None of them.
Not even close.
Right? And you, again, we were in Koh Samui, one of the temple sites we went to there, we were there for about 2 hours.
Roughly.
We could have been there for 6, really. We could have just continuously walked that temple.
Yeah.
Because there was so much to see. It was so huge.
Yeah.
Right? So it is something I would suggest, again, 100% you can't miss if you're in Thailand. If you're on a cruise like we were and you have multiple stops, do what we did, which was wait until Koh Samui, because the Koh Samui temple sites, first of all, there's 2 major ones. They're very close together. We walked from one to the other, right? We took a grab taxi to the one and just walked the distance to the second one. And there's so much to see in those 2 temple sites that you can see everything you want to see that's temple related at that one stop.
Yeah.
You don't have to, see something at the first place, see something at the next place, and then see something at Koh Samui or whichever way you're going, right? You can go to Koh Samui, get your temple fix there, do your shopping in Bangkok, and then, of course, eat everywhere you go, right?
Can't miss that.
And then pick whichever spot you like, depending on what style of nightlife you like.
Yeah. Okay, can I just stop you? When you are in a temple, can you please just be respectful?
Oh, yeah.
And wear the proper clothing? Because when we went to some of these temples, okay, guys, you're supposed to have like below your knees covered, and you're supposed to have your shoulders covered. Please don't be all busted out,
Yeah, there was all kinds of people doing like TikToks and glamour shots in bikini tops.
Yeah, it's not what you're there for. It's very disrespectful. And, there's such a small, especially Koh Samui is so small that they didn't really stop those people from going into the temples. But, just have that respect to know that, it's a sacred place for them and that you need to dress appropriate.
Yeah, they're not going to tell you don't do it.
No.
Because tourism's a huge, right, export
but we'll
for them.
tell you not to do
right?
it.
It's massive for them. It's not like a monk is going to confront you.
No.
Part of me is wishing you had a couple of monks in there that were like, if you ever seen the old movie Master Killer, like those guys, that would just step up and tune some of these people because they're being so disrespectful. And there's minimal security. Yeah. And again, it's a non-confrontational type of society. So they let it go. They have signs up, but people just flat out ignore it.
They disregard them. So just have respect for what it is, for the beauty of what it is, and understand what it is.
Because for those of you that are into cruising like we are, you're hearing more and more now about different locations in the world that are popular cruise destinations that are cracking down on tourists and now banning them for going to certain things.
Yeah.
Like where 10 years ago you could have, gone up Machu Picchu kind of thing. Now it's like, no, we let a limited tour go up there and that's it. Because of disrespectful people, right? You have that idiot couple, I can't remember where they're from, whatever, that like etched their name into the Colosseum in Rome.
God. Yeah,
right?
Come on.
So now they have like boards up and such so you can't get too close.
I remember,
you're not getting the same
going
picture.
to the Colosseum and just putting my hand on it and I felt chills. And it's like, for someone not to witness that, it hurts me. It hurts me. Like, just have the respect of what it was.
Yeah, and maybe this is the only time you're ever going to be there and you figure who cares, but think about other people that want to go there after you and they want to experience the same thing. It's just a number of tools that are basically ruining it for everybody else, so just don't be that tool.
And there's a lot of places I still want to travel in this world that I still want to see its original.
Up close.
Right.
Without someone's name etched into it.
Because somebody did something, pretty stupid.
Yeah. So don't be that somebody, right? But those are the things you want to do in Thailand.
Yeah.
100%. You want to do them all, right? And luckily now, because of places like Bangkok and Pattaya and such that have great nightlife, you now have cruises that are incorporating the overnights so that you can take advantage of those things.
Take advantage.
Take full advantage.
Yeah.
100%.
And like the hotels and, you know, little Airbnbs that you guys can get outside of the cruise if you want to stay overnight are cheap.
Dirt cheap.
So, you know, don't worry about rushing back to the ship because, you know, you need a place to stay. Like, it's okay. You're not going to...
Yeah, get your party on.
Yeah.
Crash in Bangkok, and then go back the next morning. Till next time, be sure to subscribe, click the notification bell, and tune in to Why We Buy It.